Across the Sahel region of West Africa, a storm is brewing, not of sand or rain, but of revolution. The people of Burkina Faso are angry, restless, and increasingly tired of foreign interference and corrupt leadership. Into this volatile landscape has emerged a young and defiant figure, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, now the interim president of Burkina Faso. Just in his mid-30s, Traoré has already drawn widespread attention for his bold rhetoric, anti-colonial stance, and grassroots appeal. His name has rapidly gained weight not just in Burkina Faso, but across Africa and even on global platforms.
You will hear about the African Union. Yes, it exists. But what is the effect of the African Union in reality? We cannot talk about integration in the theme and not talk about the African Union. Because it is this organization that should unite us, create real integration. But we regret to see these wars that persist on the African continent, killing millions of young people.
Many have started calling him the new Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary icon who transformed Burkina Faso in the 1980s.
Un emploi. Nous devons donner à chaque femme le moyen de gagner honnêtement et dignement sa vie.
But is this comparison fair? Is Traoré really following in Sankara's footsteps? Or is the world simply projecting its hunger for change onto a new face? Who was Thomas Sankara? To understand this comparison, we first need to revisit the extraordinary life and vision of Thomas Sankara. In 1983, at the age of just 33, Sankara came to power through a military coup that had widespread popular support. Once in office, he led one of the most radical transformations in modern African history. He renamed the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, meaning the land of upright people. He was fiercely anti-imperialist and believed African nations needed to free themselves from both political and economic chains. He rejected foreign aid, implemented land reforms, promoted local production, vaccinated millions, empowered women, and urged people to wear locally made clothes. His administration cut salaries of officials and even sold off government limousines. But this angered many, especially those who benefited from the status quo. In 1987, Sankara was assassinated in a coup led by his former ally, Blaise Compaoré, allegedly with backing from foreign powers. Though his life was short, his legacy became eternal, a symbol of what Africa could be without exploitation and dependency. Fast forward to 2022, and a new name emerges, Ibrahim Traoré.
I'm archiving every distortion. I am Ibrahim Traoré, and today I'm pulling off your masks. Yes, you heard correctly.
Amid growing terrorist attacks, internal discontent, and political failure, Traoré staged a coup in September 2022, removing Lieutenant Colonel Damiba, who had himself come to power through a coup just months earlier. Traoré, then only 34, claimed he had no choice. The previous leadership had failed to protect the people and allowed corruption and mismanagement to continue. From the beginning, Traoré's image resonated with the public. He was young, energetic, unafraid to speak his mind, and above all, he seemed genuine. Like Sankara, he often appeared in military fatigues, refused luxury, and interacted directly with ordinary people. His early speeches, where he emphasized sovereignty, security, and dignity, brought Sankara's legacy back into public discourse. The comparisons were immediate. People began calling him the new Sankara. He quickly became a symbol of hope, not just in Burkina Faso, but among Pan-Africanist movements across the continent. A Sankara-style move, one of Traoré's boldest decisions, came in early 2023 when he expelled French troops from Burkina Faso. He terminated the military agreements that allowed France to operate in the region and shut down French media outlets, accusing them of spreading propaganda. This was not just a political decision, it was deeply symbolic. It echoed Sankara's belief that African nations must free themselves from neo-colonial control. Traoré's Burkina Faso joined forces with Mali and Niger, forming a new anti-French alliance that seeks security cooperation and Pan-African unity on its own terms. For many Africans who have grown weary of foreign interference disguised as aid or military partnerships, Traoré's defiance sent a powerful message. Africa is not a puppet continent. He became a viral sensation on social media, with memes, music, and interviews spreading far and wide. His popularity surged even as the West began to grow uneasy. What Traoré means for Africa in 2025. In today's Africa, especially in the Sahel, young people are increasingly angry at the international order. They see how their countries remain poor despite decades of aid. They see mineral wealth being extracted while their families live in poverty. They see foreign troops on their soil, yet insecurity grows. Traoré has become a vessel for this rage, a rallying point for those who believe Africa must stand on its own feet. He is not just a national leader, he has become part of a wider Pan-African awakening. Social media amplifies his message far beyond borders. From students in Senegal to activists in Nigeria, his face appears on posters and protests. He gives voice to a deep desire for change. Change not managed by NGOs or dictated by foreign diplomats, but driven by Africans themselves. Whether he succeeds or not, Traoré has already shifted the narrative, just as Sankara did decades ago. Is he the next Sankara? So, is Ibrahim Traoré the new Thomas Sankara? In some ways, yes. He channels the same revolutionary energy, challenges neo-colonial systems, speaks to the youth, and dares to dream of a self-reliant Africa. In other ways, no. He operates in a different era, under different threats, and with different tools. Sankara was a socialist visionary with detailed policy frameworks, while Traoré is still defining his legacy. One was cut down before his time, the other still has a chance to build a future. But maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe Traoré doesn't need to be another Sankara. Maybe he needs to be the first Traoré, a leader who learns from the past but adapts to the present. A leader who doesn't just rebel, but rebuilds. A leader who doesn't just inspire speeches, but delivers results. The truth is, Africa doesn't need another martyr. It needs a movement that survives, thrives, and evolves. Whether Traoré becomes that spark or fades like many before him will depend not just on him, but on the people around him, the institutions he builds, and the vision he is willing to pursue. So now, the question isn't just whether Ibrahim Traoré is the new Thomas Sankara. The real question is, will the people of Africa and the world finally support the kind of leadership that dares to break the chains of neo-colonialism, dares to speak truth to power, and dares to dream differently? Because no matter how bold one man may be, real change comes when the people behind him believe, not in one leader, but in a shared future. Ibrahim Traoré may become a legend like Sankara, or he may simply be a chapter in a much larger story. That story is still being written by the young, the aware, the brave, and the determined across the African continent and the global diaspora. As we watch this history unfold in real time, one thing is clear: the world is shifting. Power structures are being questioned, narratives are being rewritten, and voices that were once silenced are rising, louder than ever. If you believe this is a conversation worth having, if you believe stories like these matter, then be part of this journey with us. Comment below with your thoughts. Do you believe Traoré can lead lasting change? What do you think Sankara would say if he were alive today? Let's turn this comment section into a real forum for meaningful dialogue. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future deep dives, breakdowns, and critical coverage of political movements, African affairs, and global shifts in power. This platform isn't just here to inform, it's here to inspire. And every time you watch, share, or engage, you help amplify voices that often go unheard. Thank you for staying with us through this powerful story. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, stay revolutionary. And remember, Africa is rising, and the world is watching.